casting a fly rod is like hammering a nail on a wall. And I'm sure everybody's done that at some point or another. So if I were hammering a nail on a wall, I wouldn't be using a lot of wrist. You know, you wouldn't get any power that way. When you're hammering a nail on a wall, you think about it, you're dropping your elbow, and that's where you're getting the power. Your thumb is up, and it's short stroke. So, and that's the same way it is with a fly rod. So I wouldn't be using a whole lot of wrist doing it. I'm not going to get any power that way. So I'm going to keep my elbow in, and I'm going to lift my elbow and drop it. And that's the casting stroke. It's very simple. You don't want to have your elbow out here. You want to have it tucked in. I've got rotator cuff problems from years of that. You know, and then I worked on my cast and got it right. But the stroke is pretty simple. But there's a couple things you should look for when you're learning how to do this. One, your thumb is up. You should always be able to see your thumbnail. If you're back like this, you know something's wrong. You're breaking the wrist. The other one is the rod tip should travel in a straight line. So you need to imagine that. You know, get that rod tip to go in a straight line, and the line will always follow the rod tip. So if I finish right here, what's the line going to do? It's going to go pile. And I see it a lot. That's a very beginner's first mistake. I want to stop it right about here. The cast is pretty short. But the more line I have out of the rod, the longer my stroke is. So if I have... Get this out of here. Piece of yarn on here. No fear of hooking yourself yet. But if I have that much line out of the tip of my rod, my casting stroke is going to be very small. You see that rod tip is not moving far at all. But the more line I get out, and this is normal in fly fishing.
You just pull it out? Is that it?
Yeah, just pull it out, and you will have line. Help a brother out?
Wrapped around. Yeah. I hate when I wrap.
Thanks. The more line I have out of this out the tip of the rod, the longer my casting stroke is. Now, when I'm casting, I want to have that leader completely stretch out in the front, and same with the back. I want it to completely stretch out in the back. Cast is symmetrical. It's exactly the same in the back as it is in the front. So, get a little line out here. So when I'm casting, I want to wait for it to extend out before I move. And I don't know if anybody's seen A River Runs Through It. They're standing on a lawn, and the father has a metronome on the lawn, and what he's doing is getting a cadence, and that's what I have here is a cadence. As a little tool, when I teach it, I use Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. But you see, I'm breaking my wrist a little, and you will. The more advanced you get, you know, you can add power with your wrist. But when you're starting out, don't break that wrist. And you see all my power is coming from the elbow here. So that's just a couple things to think about. And I do have line out here. I'm holding the line with my trigger finger. I can hold it with this one also. And I can just put it back in the trigger finger when I go. I can also shoot line. So as I go, I'm going to stop and shoot it out. So, doesn't that sound so easy?
You make it.
I hate to say it, but it's like a golf.
Straight, and wrist is straight. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like that. I'm just going to raise my elbow and I'm going to break my wrist. Like that. Once again, just start with my arm.
Just play with that right there. You already got a tree. And there's not even a hook on it. Okay. Oh,
I got canned.
that doesn't count. It's not big enough.